Dear students, welcome to our online class. Hope you are hale and hearty. Today I have come with a new topic. Let's get acquainted with this. Our today's topic is pronoun reference, which is included in your syllabus, and always you get confused regarding this topic. So be attentive to the class. In order to know pronoun reference, at first you have to understand what are pronouns, and all of you are more or less know about the pronouns, and it's a very primary education, I think. Pronouns are words that stand in for a noun in a sentence. All of you know from the very early period of your student life that pronouns are used in the place of nouns. For example, the mother called the daughter, and the second example is the mother called her. So, in this example, you have a look at the daughter. The daughter is replaced by her. The daughter is a noun and her is a pronoun. So, we can use pronouns instead of the nouns. Now, we have to know what is pronoun reference. Pronouns must always refer clearly to the noun they represent. What does it mean? It means that which nouns the pronoun will refer, it must be very clear. And this is called antecedent. Thus, the pronoun must agree with the noun it replaces in number and person. So, what we can say? We can say pronoun reference is noun-pronoun agreement. An unclear pronoun reference makes sentences confusing, vague, and difficult to understand. So, it's very important to use proper or correct pronoun reference. Antecedent. In the previous slide, we have been introduced with a new idea, and this is called antecedent. Let's know about this term. Ante means before and cede means to come. So antecedent means that which comes before. Antecedents are nouns or sometimes pronouns in the sentence. Antecedents usually come before the pronoun in the same sentence. Antecedents sometimes appear in the sentence just before the one with the pronoun. Let's look at the example of an antecedent and pronoun. Frederick, have you turned in your report? Here, Frederick is an antecedent, you is a pronoun, and your is a pronoun. So, at first, what we find in this, that Frederick comes before the pronouns you and your. And Frederick is an antecedent because we know that antecedent refers to nouns and sometimes pronouns, and antecedent always comes before the pronouns, and this example also shows us this idea is exact. In this slide we have an example, and if you want to understand or if you want to write correct pronoun reference, that means if you want to use pronoun reference very clearly, or if you want to make any sentence clear and proper, you have to determine the pronoun and the antecedent first. And in this example, what we see, both Isabel and Barbara loved her children. We know that a pronoun refers to a noun and an antecedent is the noun to which the pronoun refers. So there is a close relation between a pronoun and an antecedent. In the previous slide, we have an example. The sentence is both Isabel and Barbara loved her children. In our example, the pronoun is her. The antecedent is either Isabel or Barbara. So, here one pronoun refers to two antecedents, Isabel and Barbara. So, there's a chance of getting confused. Are they Isabel's children or are they Barbara's children? From this sentence, we cannot tell whose children they are because we cannot tell which of the nouns is the antecedent. This sentence is an unclear pronoun reference outlaw. So, if we want to get the sense or if we want to get the meaning of the sentence, we have to rewrite the sentence in this way, like both Isabel and Barbara loved Isabel's children. So, it makes the sentence clear that they are Isabel's children. There is no way to use her here. If the pronoun cannot give us the proper meaning or if the pronoun makes the sentence vague or confusing, so there is no need to use any pronoun. Instead of this, we can use noun or we have to use noun. So, both Isabel and Barbara loved Isabel's children is a correct sentence. The clues. In the previous slide, we have come to know that antecedents come before the pronouns. So, find the pronoun and replace it with the antecedent. If the pronoun reference is clear, the sentence should make sense. If you want to avoid using incorrect pronoun reference or if you want to make a sentence clear and meaningful, then you have to know some techniques or rules. And the first one is pronoun should clearly refer to a specific noun, and this is called antecedent. In the previous slides, we came to know that a pronoun must have or each pronoun must have an antecedent, a single antecedent. There will be no option to get confused with two antecedents. The second one is we should know to what each pronoun refers. So, in a sentence, at first we have to identify to which or to what the pronoun that is used in the sentence refers. And what we have to do, we have to eliminate ambiguity. In a sentence, we have to eliminate ambiguity. That means we have to make the sentence clear and exact, and we have to make the meaning of the sentence clear to us or clear to everybody. Take a look at this example. Jane told Helen that no one would take her away. In this sentence, the pronoun is her. The antecedent is either Jane or Helen. So, it's an unclear pronoun reference because we know that every pronoun has one antecedent. But in this sentence, we have two antecedents, Jane and Helen. So, the readers get confused about the person who would be taken away. So, if we want to make pronoun reference clear, we have to rewrite the sentence in this way. Like, no one will take me away, Jane told Helen. So, here, me is Jane, and in this example, the sense becomes clear to us and the sentence becomes meaningful. So, in order to have a meaningful sentence, we must use pronoun reference very clearly. Number B. Do not use they when referring to unspecified persons. They must refer to specific people. That means if you want to use they in a sentence, you must have a certain group of people. And grammatically, we know that before pronoun there must be an antecedent. So if we want to use they in a sentence, we must have antecedents before they. In this example, they seriously consider publishing short story collections when some of the stories have already been published in journals. Here the pronoun is they, the antecedent who are they, unknown. Source an unclear pronoun reference. The sentence starts with they, with a pronoun, but before this sentence there is no other sentence and there is no clue that who are they. So there is no antecedent. For this sentence becomes vague and unclear. We don't know who are they. So if we want to make the pronoun reference proper, we should write publishers seriously consider publishing short story collections when some of the stories have already been published in journals. Here, instead of they, we use publishers. And after using publishers, the sense becomes clear to us. The sentence becomes meaningful. We have come to know who are they. Number C. You have to use it and that when referring to a specific word or phrase. Here's an example. When Mrs. Hale and Mrs. Peters hide the dead bird, it means they hide the evidence. Here the pronoun is it and the antecedent it doesn't refer to a specific word in the sentence. So it's an unclear pronoun reference. Here we have more than one antecedent. Here Mrs. Hale, Mrs. Peters and also their action hiding the dead bird come before the pronoun it. So what does it mean or what does it refer? We do not know. This type of sentence always makes the reader confused. And if we want to make the sentence meaningful or make the sense clear, we have to rewrite the sentence in a way like, by hiding the dead bird, Mrs. Hale and Mrs. Peters conceal the evidence. Here, it refers to the action by hiding the dead bird, and instead of it, we use by hiding the dead bird here. So we skip pronoun. If the pronoun cannot make the sense clear, we have to avoid using it. Exercise caution when you have two singular antecedents with the same gender. That means you must be very cautious when you have two singular antecedents with the same gender. Pronoun confusion is common when a sentence contains two or more antecedents with the same gender. In this example, Edwin told Kenny that Dr. Wilson suspected that he cheated on the chemistry exam. Which male is in trouble here? Is it Edwin who is enjoying that Dr. Wilson could define Kenny's misdeed on the chemistry examination? Or is it Edwin's confession? Did Edwin confess that Dr. Wilson suspected him for doing unfair means in the chemistry exam? It is not clear. So it's an example of unclear pronoun reference. And in this example, he, the pronoun, has more than one antecedent, and the singular antecedents, both of them are in the same gender. To fix a pronoun reference error, you will often have to revise the sentence, switching out the pronoun for a clear, specific noun. Watch what happens. Edwin told Kenny that Dr. Wilson suspected that Kenny cheated on the chemistry exam. Edwin told Kenny that Dr. Wilson suspected that Edwin cheated on the chemistry exam. And I mentioned it earlier that if the pronouns are not able to give you the proper meaning or proper sense, you have to use nouns instead of pronouns. And in these two sentences, we have used nouns instead of pronouns. In the first sentence, in the place of he, we use Kenny, and in the second sentence, in place of he, we use Edwin. Another caution: a possessive noun should not be the antecedent for a pronoun, because a possessive noun is always regarded as adjective, not a pronoun. Here's an example. Kevin's fingers were strumming the guitar when he winked at Donna. From this sentence, we can understand that while strumming the guitar, Kevin winked at Donna. But Kevin's in this sentence is a possessive which functions as adjective. We knew in the earlier slide, and he is a pronoun, so it is not possible or it is not grammatical to use he in the place of Kevin's, because a pronoun cannot be used in the place of an adjective. The readers get confused about the sentence, that whether it is Kevin's whole body was strumming the guitar or Kevin's disembodied fingers were strumming the guitar, and who winked at Donna. To fix the problem, you can replace the pronoun with a specific noun. You can't have a pronoun reference error if you have no pronoun. That means, I mentioned it several times that if your pronoun cannot make the sense clear, you have to use noun. If you don't have any pronoun reference, there will be no error regarding pronoun reference. So this slide says you that you can replace the pronoun with a specific noun. For example, Kevin's fingers were strumming the guitar when this young man winked at Donna. Here we find this young man, and it makes the sense clear to us. Or you can revise the sentence so that the pronoun refers to a real noun, that is a real antecedent. As Kevin strummed the guitar, he winked at Donna. And if you think that you use pronoun, you don't use any noun, you have to rewrite this sentence in this way. And here in this sentence, he is a pronoun which refers to a specific or real antecedent, and this is Kevin. So the sentence becomes meaningful and clear to us. In this class, we learned what are the cautions you have to follow in using proper pronoun reference. In our next class, we will learn what are the rules in writing proper pronoun reference. Till then, stay fine. Thank you.